Yo everybody, welcome to my channel. This is chapter 2, What to Naruto Live with Orochimaru. Let's start.
In a sense, Naruto's dream had come true. He had become a Kage, the Otokage to be exact. The first months of the new year, Naruto had taken off to the hidden village of Mist. The first changes Naruto wanted to make were to free Jugo and Suigetsu from their imprisonment. Only if they promised to behave themselves, he'd hate to have to kill his own two clan members because of their defiance. Also, he relieved Karen of her experimentation duties. He had no interest in such issues. And instead of living underground, he was going to make sure that his village would be a true village, not some rat hole in the ground. So it was decided that he would go and hire some skilled craftsmen form the Mist Village. Before he left, he made it clear to all that when he was absent, Tayuya was in charge. The reformed Jugo and Suigetsu asked their new leader if he required their assistance. Does it look like I need your help? If anyone tries to launch an attack upon us, I'll be counting on you two along with the reaming sound 4 and Tayuya to protect everyone while I'm gone. A couple of days later, Naruto can be seen running at an incredible speed through the vast forests. I should be there by nightfall if all goes well. Naruto senses something headed straight for him and swiftly dodges a barrage of throwing stars that embed themselves deep into a tree. Naruto appears on a high-up branch behind his would-be attackers. Typical Konoha scum trying to bring me back, that or kill me. They turned around and Naruto recognized his former friends, Hinata, Ino, and Sakura. Naruto, we are here to bring you before the Konoha Council to decide your fate. Ino yells up at a very amused Naruto. Now why would I want to do that? Why you have been seen as a th the art to Konoha, so Tsunade has ordered all of the best ninja to come looking everywhere for you. So give yourself up or else. Hinata nervously stutters at her crush as she blushes at how handsome Naruto had become. Or else what? You honestly think the three of you are a challenge to me? How about you three leave? Killing women isn't my style. After hearing the killing part, the three girls start to feel shaky. You want kill us, you don't have the balls to. Sakura tries to say but is cut off when she fells a kunai against her throat. Sakura breaks out in a cold sweat as she realizes what just happened. Say that again and I'll slice your throat wide open, bitch. Hinata and Ino move forward in an instant trying to catch Naruto off guard, but to no avail. Naruto kicks Sakura forward, sending her crashing into the other two. Is this the best Konoha has to offer? How sad. Naruto laughs as he disappears and appears on the same branch. They rise to their feet and Ino takes out a receiver. We found him. Repeat. We've found Naruto in the far north forest. You're gonna get it now, Naruto. Soon every shinobi from Konoha will be raining down on you. Naruto appears before them again, punches Ino across the face and kicks Sakura in the stomach. Both fall to the ground unconscious. Hinata looks at her two friends and then back at Naruto. With great fear in her eyes, she slowly and shakily pulls out a kunai and points it at Naruto. Keep away from me. Don't fret, my dear Hinata. You showed me kindness when I was still living my old life back in Konoha. For that I won't harm you. Those two bitches had more than what I did to them coming. If you value your life, Hinata, don't come after me. I'm far too busy to play with you kids. If I see you three again, I'll kill you without hesitation. Naruto darkly says as he begins to walk away. He then takes off toward the Mist Village at an incredible speed. Later that night, Naruto finally reached the vast rivers of the water country. Naruto could see no boats by the docks, and he didn't feel like swimming, so he bunkered down in the closest tree and went to sleep. The next morning, Naruto awoke from a deep sleep to see across the river to see that the boats and the ferryman had returned. He jumps down and walks toward one of the old fishermen untying a boat, getting ready to set off. Hey old man! Naruto yells out. The elderly fellow turns around and looks at the blonde. What do ya want? You headed to the Mist Village up ahead? No. Why? You want me to take you over there or something? Yeah, I do. Can you take me? I could, but since it's out of the way, I'll need some compensation, you know. Naruto walks over toward the old fisherman. When he's close enough, Naruto reaches into his pocket and acts like he is trying to bring out a large amount of money. In a flash, Naruto grabs his neck and quickly snaps it. The old man falls to the ground with a thud. Naruto picks him up and throws him into the boat. Naruto gets into the boat, grabs a paddle and sets off. About an hour later, when Naruto reaches a swampy grove, Naruto chunks his travailing companion into the murky water. Several minutes later, Naruto comes to a shore that is new to him. This place is different, but if I search I'm sure to find the Mist Village. Eventually, Naruto steps on shore and sets off into the vast untamed jungle. Hours later, Naruto reaches a small village. Much to his disappointment, it was empty, and nearly destroyed. Damn, I guess I can't get directions from this place. Naruto walks through the rummage to see if anyone is around but finds no one. Naruto is about to walk out of the village when he hears a small voice and stops. Mr. Naruto turns around to see a child of around 3 or 4 he guessed. She was poor looking and probably had starved to death. The little girl had white hair and blue eyes. Yes, child? Naruto asks kindly as he knelt down. Have you seen my mommy? She left a week ago with the others to fight and none of them came back. Bad men from the mist came looking for me but I hid from them. The little girl begins to cry and runs over to Naruto and hugs him. This child, she reminds me of Haku. Could this be where Haku came from? Naruto hugs her back and holds her until her crying lets up. Your mother, child, is dead as is everyone except for you. This makes the girl grab hold of Naruto tighter and her crying intensifies. After several more minutes of crying, she lets go of Naruto and rubs her eyes. Naruto stands up with a sad look on his face. I'm sorry to have told you this, child, but it's true. Mommy's dead. I'm afraid so. If you stay here any longer you will either starve to death or the bad men you speak of may find you. Do you want to come with me? The little girl looks up at Naruto with a look of sadness in her eyes. If so, I will adopt you and become your father if you like. The little girl starts to cry again and runs to Naruto and hugs his leg. Daddy. Naruto pats her on the head and picks her up and hugs the child. She remind me of me. Naruto thinks as he holds her tightly. He places the girl down and kneels down again. What are your name, child? My name is Hisame. A.N. meaning chilly rain, says the little girl. And my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Can I call you daddy? Asks the little girl. Naruto smiles at her and pats her head. Of course you can, Hisame, my daughter. You must be hungry, Naruto says as he takes his pack off and hands it to his adopted daughter. There's plenty of food inside, help yourself. Hisame dives into the bag and pulls out various foods and treats, and a large 3-gallon flask of tea. Hisame goes through the food like a fire through a wheat field, and in a few minutes, the food and tea were gone. Well, that didn't last long, Naruto says with humor in his voice. Hisame begins to yawn as she stands up to stretch. Looks like you two need a nap, you look very tired. And I'm sure the last several days have been terrible for you. But what if the bad mist men come back, daddy? Hisame asked with fear returning to her face. If any of those cowards show up, I'll kill them without a moment's thought. Don't worry, my daughter. I'm one of the strongest people you'll ever meet, you're safe. Naruto gets up and takes her to one of the last standing huts, and puts Hisame to bed. Naruto climbs up on the highest tree in the entire village, and watches with the eyes of a hawk. There is something different about her, but what? You sense it too. The child has a demon sealed within her, a 5-tailed ice wolf. If I'm not mistaken. This shocks Naruto. I see. The men from the mist were looking to abduct Hisame and, like Gaara, try to make her into their weapon, no doubt. All the reason I need to take her with me so she won't have to be exposed to what I had to live through. Naruto says as he remembers his childhood. So I guess this means you're a grandmother now, right, mom? Naruto gives Kyuubi a smile as she growls at him. Don't say that, it makes me feel old. Several hours later, just as Hyuzen had predicted, a group of men arrived. That little shit has to be here somewhere, she can't hide from us forever. Naruto hears one of the men think as he jumps down in front of them. Who the fuck are you? So you're the ones that have been terrorizing my daughter then? Naruto says as he begins to activate his curse seal level 2 form, and changes before their very eyes. Oh, what the hell? Time to die. Naruto snarls as he rips and tears through the frightened men one by one. The last man falls to the ground dead with a look of horror frozen to his face. Blood drips from Naruto's hands and he licks it away. Bastards. They're already dead and I haven't even begun to vent my anger onto them. Naruto calms down and slowly begins to revert back to normal. After all, he didn't want to frighten his Hisame at such an early age. Naruto goes over to check to see if he had awoken Hisame, but she was in a deep sleep, dead to the world. I think I'll go and find us some dinner. Naruto thinks to himself as he transforms into his cursed seal level 2 form and smells out his prey deed into the jungle. 2 hours later, Hisame awoke as the sun started to set with something that smelled delicious. Naruto had a fire going with a large, cleaned hog cooking over the flame. Well, looks who's up. Hungry. Naruto removes the pig and places it down on a group of leaves. Dig in. Hisame and Naruto grab handfuls of meat and quickly devour the wonderful meat. In no time at all, only a smoking skeleton remained. Will we be leaving tomorrow, Papa? Asks Hisame questioningly. Yes, tomorrow we will be headed to the Mist Village. You see, Hisame, I live very far away from here. I came to the water country looking for skilled craftsmen to build upon my village of sound. Sound. Yes, sound, that's where I hail from. So we'll be leaving the water country. Hisame says with a little sadness in her voice. Afraid so, but don't worry. A new and better life awaits you in sound. You will be welcomed with open arms. And Naruto says as his tone turns serious. What is the name of the wolf sealed within you? Hisame gasps in surprise. How did you know there was a demon inside me? Hisame asks, growing frightened. Because I too have a demon inside me as well, a nine-tailed fox demon named Kyubi. Hisame calms back down and looks at him with respect. Really? Yes. His name is Ulva, Alaskan for wolf. He's really nice to me. He was a very wise and powerful demon who took care and watched over our village for hundreds of years until he was murdered and his soul stored into a holy vase. Mother sealed him in me when I was younger so that I would become strong. More like turn you into their weapon, it sounds like. Naruto thought as she told her story of her demon, Ulva. May I speak with him? I don't know, let me check. Hisame closes her eyes and enters her mind. She appears before a frozen ice-like holding cell. Yes. Hisame. A pale-skinned, white-haired man with yellow eyes kindly asks. Papa, Naruto wishes to speak to you. Does he now? Alright then, I'll be right out. A cold aura emits from Hisame as she opens her eyes. Yes, what is it, Naruto? I just wanted to meet and speak with you is all. Naruto calmly states. I'm going to take Hisame with me to sound, is that alright with you? If what you said before of offering Hisame a better life, it's alright with me, she has had such a hard life. Her mother lying to her about sealing me into her. What the village's true purpose was to use her for their own personal gain. Mortals can be so cruel to their young, as you know personally from your own experiences as a child. Even the meanest, coldest demon would not treat their offspring in such a way. Ulva says sadly. I will teach her the art of killing, but I won't use her. She'll be a daughter to me, is that fine by you? I used to care deeply for humans like they were my own, but these past centuries have opened my eyes to the truth. As long you keep your word of not using Hisame, I'm fine by it. The aura disappears and Hisame's eyes return to normal. Why don't we leave now, Papa? If you're sure, then let's be on our way. Naruto kicks out the fire, picks up Hisame and places her on his shoulders. Hold on. Naruto takes off at a blinding speed toward the west. Hours later, Naruto and the sleeping Hisame reach the village hidden in the mist. Naruto walks into a small motel and asks for 2 bed room for him and his daughter. Naruto tucks Hisame into the first bed and drops down on the second bed asleep. With a little manipulation from Kyuubi, Naruto had a heated dream of where he had gone to speak with Kyuubi, but she forced Naruto inside her cage and there they had made passionate love for what seemed like hours. The next thing he feels is someone poking him. Naruto slowly opens his eyes and looks at a smiling Hisame. What? Asks a tired Naruto. Wake up, daddy. It's morning already. Alright, I'm up. Naruto gets up and stretches. He walks over to the window, opens it and breathes in the fresh air. Looks like it's gonna be a great day. Naruto says humorously. Naruto and Hisame leave the hotel, and Naruto takes Hisame to a local food stand and the two have a hearty breakfast. After they spend most of the day looking for craftsmen. Soon Naruto finds 20 of the best carpenters in all of Mist Village. With giving them all a small fraction of what Naruto got for the bounty on Orochimaru's head, they were ready to start work immediately. So it was Naruto, Hisame, and the 20 craftsmen headed back to Sound. After 5 days of slow travel, the large group finally reaches Sound. Naruto gives them the blueprints he and most of the other villagers had worked on. Took them to a very large patch of land that the rest of the Sound had cleared away all the trees away while Naruto was absent. Now get to work. Naruto takes Hisame to the small hut and they enter. Hold my hand or you may get lost down here. She takes hold of Naruto's hand and they enter the darkness. Naruto reaches his living chambers, pokes his head through and sees a naked Tayuya in her cursed seal level 2 form licking her lips as she sees Naruto. Naruto turns red and shuts the door. Hisame, could you wait out here for a moment? Naruto asks with an embarrassed look on his face. Sure, Papa. Naruto slowly enters and shuts the door quickly so Hisame won't look at the naked form of her mother. What was that all about, lover? Tayuya asks as she throws Naruto on the bed, jumps on him and nibbles on his neck. Not now. Naruto whispers to Tayuya. I've come back with a small child from the water country who I adopted and I brought her here to meet you. W hot. Yells a very pissed Tayuya. You want children so badly that you just go and adopt the first one you see. What the fuck? Tayuya yells at the shocked Naruto. No, it's not like that. I came across a village and found a little girl that also has a demon sealed inside her, left for dead. I couldn't just leave her there. She reminded me of myself. After hearing this, Tayuya calmed down and put her clothes back on. Oh, well, if she was abandoned, that's different. She says warmly to Naruto. Bring her in here, I want to see my new daughter. Naruto turns to the door and opens it, looks down and sees that Hisame had her ear to the door. She jumps back with a sly little smile on her face. Eavesdropping is enough to get you killed in some places, you know. Naruto says humorously to her and pats her head. Come in, I'd like you to meet my wife, and your new mother. Mommy. The little tyke ran past Naruto and saw a dark-skinned woman with red hair and 5 horns on her head. Hisame jumps up and grabs hold of the stunned Tayuya and embraces her in a big hug. Mommy. Yeah, I guess that I'm you, Mom. Tayuya says dully and hugs this strange, hyperactive child back. Glad to see that the two of you are getting along so well. Naruto says as he re-enters the room. Tayuya lets go of Hisame. Hisame slides down and smiles back at her mother. What's your name, kid? Hisame. Hisame Uzumaki. Tayuya gives Hisame a cold humorous stare. Naruto was right, the little brat does act a lot like Naruto did years ago. The name's Tayuya. Can I call you Mama Tayuya? Whatever. So what are planning to do with our daughter, Papa? She asks with a smile on her face. Give her the life she deserves here in Sound. Like I said before, this place would be a safe haven for those cast and thrown out by society, and once they are here they are my brethren. Naruto takes Hisame outside and leaves her with the remaining Sound 4. Play. And watch her. Got it? Yes, sir, Naruto. Good. I'll be back later. Naruto returns to his living chamber and picks Tayuya up and places her on the bed. Now where were we? Several hours later, Naruto emerges from the underground labyrinth, and goes looking for Hisame. He found her with two very annoyed looking sound four members, Jirobu and Kidumaru. Hisame looked up and saw her father walking toward them. Daddy. Hisame runs at full speed toward Naruto and jumps at him. Naruto catches her and wraps her into a tight hug. What have you been up to, little one? Driving the both of us to the brink of a killing spree. Kidumaru angrily answers Naruto. Well, get used to it. I'm leaving right away for the rock village to find some skilled construction workers. Can I come along, Papa? Afraid not. Some people from around that rain want me dead. If I took you would only be a burden. Okay. Hisame pouts sadly. Don't worry. Mommy and these two will take care of you while I'm gone. Like hell I'll watch over this little she. Kidumaru tried to state angrily but was cut off by a hand. Naruto hand, grabbing him by the throat and hauling him into the air. You'll do whatever the fuck I tell you to or I'll rip your throat out. Naruto growls at Kidumaru. To emphasize his point, Naruto squeezed his throat until Kidumaru's eyes bulged. Naruto lets him drop to the ground, choking for air. Have you forgotten who's in charge here? You go against me or question my authority again and I'll kill you. Naruto says darkly to the wheezing Kidumaru. Naruto looks at Jirobu, who has one of those looks on his face. What? You got a problem, fatso? Naruto snarls at Jirobu. Jirobu steps back with a look of fear in his eyes. No, not at all, Otokage sir. Good. Naruto turns around and walks toward Hisame. Now you be good for me while I'm gone, alright? Okay, daddy. That's my girl. Naruto rubs her head as he is doing so. No one except Naruto sensed that. Suigetsu began to slowly arise from a puddle of water. If these two slackers don't wish to watch over your child, Otokage Naruto, I'll gladly watch over her if you wish. Suigetsu says as he flashes his shark-like teeth at Jirobu. Yes, you'll be the perfect teacher for Hisame. With your vast knowledge of water jutsus, I want you to begin training her immediately. As you wish, Naruto. I'm in your debut. For freeing me, I'll do anything you ask of me. Hisame, will this be fine by you? He'll be my sensei. Yes, if that is what you want. Okay. Naruto smiles at her, turns around and heads back underground to stock up on supplies for the long trip. Naruto soon takes off toward the rock village at a high speed, wanting to get there and back from the rock village as quickly as possible. Later that night, as Naruto is lying on a tree branch lazily, Kyuubi, who had come into heat, began to emit her pheromones in attempts of enticing Naruto. Naruto soon inhales the strange intoxicating scent, and just as Kyuubi predicted, Naruto was becoming very aroused. It was time. Kyuubi called her Naruto to her cage. What is it, Fox? Now's not the time. He stops when he realizes that this heavenly smell is emitting from her. What is the meaning of this, Fox? A very horny Naruto that is blushing wildly demands. Nothing out of the ordinary, Naruto. I've come into heat is all. Kyuubi, who was in her human form, states seductively. It's time you and I became fully acquainted. Naruto, who was trying like hell to restrain from running into her cell. No. If we do, then our mother-son relationship will be ruined. Is this what you want? Well, that's a risk I'm willing to take. Kyuubi says as she undoes her kimono and lets it hit the floor. She takes hold of Naruto and drags him into her cage. She takes hold of his head and shoves it between her legs. Her pheromones were driving Naruto crazy. He had to taste her. Naruto parts her legs farther apart and inserts his tongue into her and moves it around. This causes Kyuubi to shriek with pleasure. Naruto begins to nibble at her vagina as if to tease her. She grabs Naruto's head and pushes him down even further into her. Her legs buckle and she howls in pleasure as her first orgasm hits Naruto on the face, which Naruto quickly laps up hungrily. Naruto, gods, that was wonderful. Tayuya has taught you well. Kyuubi smirks as she pushes Naruto down and starts to tear his cloths off. Now I'll give you a taste of your own medicine, she says playfully as she began to rub his swollen member. My, what a big boy you've become. She starts to lick his dick up and down like a popsicle and play with his balls. All this makes Naruto moan a little. After she decides that he's been tormented enough, she takes his dick all the way into her mouth. After a few minutes of nibbling on Naruto's bone, he releases his seed all into her mouth. So much. Kyuubi chokes out, as she tries to swallow all of Naruto's juice. Now for the fun part, after which I will mark you as my mate, as will you. I already told you to Yuya as my mate. Then I'll become your second mate then. It's not uncommon for a demon to have more than one mate, you know. Well, in that case, Naruto pulls Kyuubi to him and they embrace each other once more. Naruto picks Kyuubi up and lowers her onto his already throbbing member. He slowly enters her. When he does, she quivers in pleasure. Kyuubi turns her head to Naruto and they make out as Naruto thrusts in and out of her at a steady pace. Naruto nuzzles her neck and quickly bites down, causing her blood to pour out, which he more than happily licks up. When Kyuubi decides that he done, she pulls away and clamps down right above to Yuya's mark. Her fangs easily tear through his flesh. Kyuubi tries her best not to moan as Naruto picks up the pace while she laps his blood up. Naruto. Kyuubi pants as she can feel her second orgasm was close. I might much for you, mommy. Naruto jokingly asks as he fondles her breasts while licking her neck. Don't falter yourself, it's been so long since I've mated with one such as fine as you. Kyuubi tries to say through gritted teeth. A few minutes later, they came together in a perfect union. Kyuubi and Naruto stay together for a few minutes more until Naruto's member shrinks out of her. Kyuubi turns around and kisses Naruto passionately on the lips. You were wonderful, my new mate. Thanks, Kyuubi. I've had lots of practice. Naruto grins at her and licks her in return. An hour later, Kyuubi is seen lying in the firm arms her Naruto, who is leaning against the bars. I wish that there was a way of getting you out of this damned place. There isn't, but there is a way that you can let me out for brief periods of time. Naruto's eyes widen as she finished her sentence. Really? How? I originally told you that my escape from here was impossible, but through the summoning jutsu and a very large amount of chakra, it is possible. Here. Kyuubi gets up, opens her hands and an ancient looking scroll appears in her hands. Same as before, sign your name in blood and our contract will be complete. Naruto bites the tip of his finger and writes his name on the first and only slot on the entire scroll. Good, now tomorrow you can try and summoning me if you wish. Sure, practice makes perfect. Go now and get some rest, love, you'll need it. Kyuubi says as she gives him a quick peck on the cheek. Alright then, farewell. Naruto disappears, leaving Kyuubi to her thoughts. Naruto awakens the next morning with a smile on his face. Man, last night was amazing. Didn't I tell you that I was far better than any mortal female? Kyuubi asks the pleased Naruto. Yeah, but still. Alright, enough idle talk, try and summoning me. Naruto jumps down to begin his morning training with Kyuubi. Naruto formed the correct hand seals, bit the tip of his finger and placed it in the middle of his right palm. The same fire tattoo as his level 1 curse seal runs down his palm and he slams his hand to the ground. Nothing happened. I told you that you would have to exert far more chakra to break the bonds that Yondaime placed on me to summon me. Naruto calls forth more chakra and try again. Nothing. Well, hell then. Guess I'll have to take it to the next level. Naruto activates his curse seal level 1 form and brings his chakra up as high as it would go and gave summoning the Kyuubi another shot. This time only a puff of smoke appeared, nothing more. Almost. Try going into your next form. Naruto taps further into his submersed chakra and fells his demonic form take over. Here goes nothing. Naruto raises his chakra to its fullest and attempts the summoning. Again. This time black smoke poured out from the ground and red chakra like lightning was shooting out from the kneeling human form of Kyuubi. She stands up and smiles at Naruto. Thank you, Naruto. You freed me for a time anyway. But for how long? Kyuubi, the half-fox looking Naruto asks. As long as I need to be. With the seal weakened I'm not as restrained as before. Know what that means, Naruto? more of my chakra will be at your disposal. Kyuubi says as she looks up and down at what seemed to her an even sexier version of her mate. You look so irresistible in that form, like a true demon. She smiles at Naruto, and releases more of her pheromones signaling that she wanted to mate with this finer version of her Naruto. If Naruto thought that the pheromones before were intoxicating, with his heightened sense of smell, it was driving Naruto out of his mind. He had to fuck Kyuubi no matter what. Kyuubi gives him a toothy grin as she undoes her pitch-black kimono. Naruto pounces her and there they make passionate love for several hours. Several hours later, Naruto was running full speed for quite a while due to lost time. Damn, wonder what I'm going to say to Yuya. Hey to Yuya, guess what? You know about Kyuubi, right? Well, now she's mine and your new mate. Neat, huh? Naruto shook at the thought of what Yuya might do when he told her this. Kyuubi, who had been listening to his thoughts with amusement. When you get ready to tell her, summon me and Yuya and I will become acquainted properly. Sure. Many hours later during the dead of night, Naruto is still running at full speed and finally reaches the outskirts of Earth Country. Finally, Naruto finds a small cave at the side of a large cliff and goes to sleep. The next morning, Naruto meets with the Tsuchikage. The Tsuchikage, who knew nothing of Naruto, had a hand in dealing the Earth Country a heavy blow in the war with Rain years ago, was happy to see him. Ah, welcome back, Naruto. The Tsuchikage smiles widely at the boy. Have you returned to ask for my daughter's hand? She's been wanting to wed you since the day you saved her years ago. Sorry, Dooku, but I'm here to hire the best of your construction workers to help build the sound into a proper village. Damn, you would have made a fine cage. If it's contraction builders you're searching for, then you have come to the right place. I'll send word for all of the best builders to meet you here. The Tsuchikage called for one of the guards to come in and told him to find the best contraction workers that were looking for work. An hour later, the guard returned with over 15 sturdy-looking men and a few women. Yes, I have summoned you all here so that one of our greatest allies here is in need of your expert services. Calmly the Tsuchikage states. Yes, I'm here because I am told that you are all of the best. As Naruto says this, a great deal of pride builds up in many of the workers. It may take several years to finish, but I'll pay you enough money to more than cover your services. Naruto pulls out a large bag of money that still had the bounty money for Orochimaru's head. They all, even the Tsuchikage, stare at the bag full of money. Naruto also gives these works a small fraction of the money and they were ready to start work immediately. 2 weeks later, Naruto again reaches sound, tells the workers to get to work with the carpenters. Hisame, who was lying lazily on a branch with her guardian Suigetsu close by. She sees her father approaching, jumps down from the tree and runs toward him. Dottie. Hisame yells as she runs toward Naruto. Naruto kneels down with his arms stretched out, catches and wraps her up in a tight hug. I missed you, Papa. And I've missed you, little Hisame. They stay hugging for a few minutes longer. When Hisame finally lets go of Naruto, Suigetsu jumps down from the tree. She has an very advanced bloodline, sir. She picks up my jutsus extremely fast. If this keeps up, she'll master all of what I have to teach her. Naruto looks down at Hisame and rubs her head. That's my girl. I've got to go talk to Yuya for a few minutes. Watch over her, will you, Suigetsu? Yes, Otokage, as you wish. Naruto transforms into his level 2 curse seal form and sniffs out Yuya. Just as he thought, Yuya was in their living quarters waiting for him. After Naruto and Yuya's intercourse, Naruto gets up and prepares for his story. Yuya, there is something I need to tell you. What? Kyuubi? You know Kyuubi? Yeah, what about her? Naruto shows her his neck and points to this strange new mark. What the hell? Here, let me just show you. Naruto performs the summing method and summons the human version of Kyuubi. Yuya gets a bad feeling about the strange beauty. Who the fuck are you? Hello Yuya, it's me, the Kyuubi. Leave. Naruto, I'll take care of this. Naruto gives them both a smile and goes up to find Hisame. Tayuya, who was in her curse seal level 2 form, got into a fighting stance. Don't be like that, all I want is to have some fun with you is all. She slips her kimono off before the stunned Tayuya, who begins to blush wildly, for Tayuya had never seen another woman naked before. Naruto has taken me as his second mate. That means that you and I are mates as well. Kyuubi seductively says as she slowly walks over to Tayuya and kisses her. Kyuubi French kisses Tayuya, who is still a little reluctant, but Kyuubi could smell her arousal. You say no, but your body wants this. Kyuubi smirks as she begins to run her fingers down Tayuya's body until she reaches Tayuya's sweet-smelling vagina, which Kyuubi tickles. Tayuya quivers at her touch. Tayuya licks Kyuubi back with great passion. Kyuubi and Tayuya move to the bed with Kyuubi on top, who slowly started to finger Tayuya. After a while, Tayuya could feel herself close to coming. When she did, Tayuya let out a little shriek. Kyuubi brings her fingers up to her nose and sniffs Tayuya's oddly sweet-smelling nectar and licks it all away. Now it's your turn, Kyuubi says as she leans back and spreads her legs. Tayuya reacts immediately, placing her tongue inside Kyuubi and moving her tongue about slowly. Tayuya's tongue love causes Kyuubi's legs to quiver while Kyuubi strokes Tayuya's hair. Tayuya starts to suck Kyuubi as soon as she can taste Kyuubi's pre-cum. Oh gods, Tayuya. Yes. Kyuubi yells as she releases her orgasm all into Tayuya's mouth, who gulps it all down. Tayuya picks her head up and they share another passionate kiss. Kyuubi slowly departs and swiftly bites Tayuya right above Naruto's mark and licked the blood that poured out away. As soon as she was finished, Tayuya did the same. Kyuubi and Tayuya were lying on the bed looking up at the ceiling. So how far along are you, Tayuya my love? Tayuya knew exactly what she meant, but how did Kyuubi know? Around 3 months, but how did you know? I could sense the presence of a different being inside of you. She turns to Tayuya and licks her female mate across the face lovingly. I must be going home no. Later. Kyuubi disappears in a puff of smoke. Well, I guess I'll go out and look for Naruto and Hisame. Tayuya thinks to herself as she puts her clothes back on and heads above to find her family. Several weeks later, Naruto was in the Lightning Country on an assassination order from the Rain to kill the Raikage and deliver his head to the Rain Cage. This would be a devastating blow to the Cloud Village, leaving the village in chaos and disarray. Naruto delivers the severed head to the cage, who rewarded Naruto with not only money but his pick of any of the finest women to take as his own. Naruto had to decline the cage's second offer, for he told him that he was already married to a goddess already. 6 months later, Tayuya gives birth to a beautiful baby girl with green eyes and red hair, which they named Kiri. The Sound had thrown a vast festival in honor of their Otokage's newborn child, even the Tsuchikage and the Cage from the Rain villages to see their greatest ally's newborn daughter. It was a time for relative peace between the two rival villages, for Naruto told him that as long as they were here in his village they wouldn't cause trouble or he'd kill them all. During the dead of night, unknown to the Rain, members of Rock meet secretly deep underground. When do you want me to carry out this attack on the Rain? Sooner would be better, Otokage sir. The rest of this year I'm going to spend with my family. How does sometime next year sound? We've been at war with Rain for so long. With your help we'll finally crush those Rain scum. As soon as you're ready is fine by us. Save it. I'm not doing this to help any of you. You've heard my price. Yes, it's a steep price, but we'll gladly pay it for your aid. Good. The Rock Anubu and Naruto shake hands, sealing the deal. As the final months of the year came, Sound began to look more and more like a true village. The builders had already completed many homes and the frames of restaurants, shops, and a large tower that would serve as Naruto's house was built over the small hut that was the entrance to the vast underground caverns, could be seen reaching its final stages of completion. On the last week of the year, the construction of the new Sound was complete. Merchants and traders came from all parts of the world. After hearing that a village where all who had been shunned and thrown out were welcome, Naruto told them that they were all welcome. But if they stepped out of line and caused trouble, they could either leave or face his wrath. Even Konoha heard of Naruto's inclusion with sound and feared that he was working for Orochimaru, and his threat to destroy Konoha was true and that he'd be coming any day now. And fulfill his promise. As agreed, Naruto, along with his newest assassin in training Hisame, meet with the Rock Village about a month after his daughter Kiri was born. Are you sure you're ready, Hisame? You'll have to kill for the first time. Does this bother you? Naruto asks with fatherly concern as the two are crouched behind a large boulder on the outskirts of the Rain Village, plotting their attack upon the Rain Shinobi. Yes, father, I'm ready. The world is a deadly place. I learned that long ago. It's either kill or be killed. She says as she draws her kunai out as she hears approaching footsteps. I'll take care of them. Good. I'll go ahead and finish off the rest of the village and you finish off the stragglers that get by me, alright? Yes, father. Naruto pats her on the head, puts his fox mask and his newly acquired Konoha headband on and vanishes. Hours later, the streets of the once proud Rain Village ran red with blood, bodies and remains were scattered everywhere. Hisame had returned to Naruto's side and helped kill off the vast waves of Rain Shinobi and was covered with their blood, as was Naruto. An elderly couple was backed against a wall holding on to each other waiting for the inevitable. Hisame, with the eyes of cold steel, slowly draws her kunai. No, let them be. We will leave the few remaining survivors left thinking that this was Konoha's doing. Okay, Hisame calmly says as she puts her kunai away. The pair disappears in a puff of smoke, leaving the elderly couple stunned that they were spared. The Rock was overjoyed that Naruto had taken out the rain and had given Naruto an extremely large amount of money. After which, Naruto, seeing that he had no further use for Rock, turns on his former allies as well. Weeks later, just as Naruto had thought, many families had come to seek refuge in Sound for one reason or another. One of the newcomers that came to his village was Yugito Ni from the Cloud Village. Naruto had encountered her the previous year while on his assassination of the Raikage. Her and Naruto's inner demons sniffed each other out. They had spent a day together talking about each other's goals, lives, and what their future held. Naruto had told her that if she ever needed help or protection, come to Sound in the rice field country. There he would gladly help protect a fellow demon vessel. Now here she was, seeking Naruto's protection from the Akatsuki, who were trying to capture and extract the two-tailed cat demon from her and kill Yugito. Akatsuki, fear not, as long as you're here, the low-lifes won't bother you. They're also after you, Naruto. Your reputation as being an emotionless killer interests them. Kyuubi is also on their list. You think that they pose a threat to me? If they even try to extract Kyuubi, well, you can guess what I'll do. Naruto gives her a smile. Yugito shakes her head and walks away. He has no idea of how dangerous they truly are. Naruto may be strong, but if every member of the Akatsuki attack him at once, he will fall. She thinks to herself as she reaches one of the many unoccupied homes and walked in. If the Akatsuki know that Yugito and I are here, they're bound to show up sooner or later. I can pick them off one by one. But if they attack me altogether. Naruto is deep in thought and does not realize Tayuya, who was holding and breastfeeding Kiri, walked under the branch Naruto is sitting on. Hilu. Tayuya angrily yells up at him. Naruto regains himself and looks down at his love. What the hell's the matter with you? I've been talking to you for several minutes now. Sorry. Lost in my thoughts again. Sure. Probably fucking Kyuubi senseless again. No, not today. Naruto says as a huge grin comes across Naruto's now gruff-looking face. Events are in motion now that are bothering me, such as Yugito's here now and she says that the Akatsuki are after her and me. So I figure that they know where we are and now they're going to plan a full-scale attack any day now. Naruto looks down at Tayuya with seriousness in his eyes. Tomorrow I want you, Hisame and the rest of the Sound who are either too old or weak to fight to head underground. They'll never find any of you there, not how the craftsman built our house over the entrance. What hell no. I can still fight. Quote. But you won't. You're my wife and I'd never let anything happen to you or any of my fellow Sound. If you think I'll go and hide and miss all the action, you're do as I say to Yuya. Don't make me use force for you to listen. Naruto snarls at her with intense anger. Alright, whatever. Tayuya sighs as she walks away with Kiri jumping excitedly in her arms. She knew that Naruto was being hard on her because he was worried for her and Kiri's well-being, and when Naruto had his mind set she knew that not even she or Kyuubi could change it. The Akatsuki are coming, this should be fun. Saken and Uken say as they emerge from a nearby tree next to Naruto. Seems that way. Saken and Uken give each other a smile. Then we can test out the results of our training. Yes, round up Jirobu and Kidomaru and meet me back here ASAP. Gotcha. They sink back into the tree and disappear. Naruto concentrates and telepathically calls out to Jugo and Suigetsu. Jugo, Suigetsu, come to me immediately. Jugo was the first to arrive as he came crashing through the trees as if they were simple weeds. What? I was about to skin some Konoha leaf ninja alive. What? The scum is even here now. What did you do with the scum? What I do best, tore him apart slowly limb from limb. The freak had clear eyes and some weird-looking tattoo in the middle of his forehead. Neji. Humph. You've done well, Jugo. Suigetsu soon arrives by hopping from tree to tree. You called Naruto. Wait until the rest show up and I'll explain what I called you here for. Minutes later the three remaining Sound 4 members show up. Why have you brought us here, Otokage sir? Asks a very suspicious Kidomaru. If Saken and Uken haven't filled you in already, then I'll explain the situation we have here. The Akatsuki know of this place, are going to be here sooner or later. They're after me and Yugito, and they probably want to destroy Sound. That about sums it up. At the sound of the Akatsuki, Jirobu and Kidomaru eyes widened with fear. The matter with you two? Asks Jugo as he sees the fear in the two of them rise. Years ago, we fought a few of the Akatsuki member by order of Orochimaru. Even in our curse seal level 2 forms our combined might wasn't enough to stop even 2-0. Akatsuki. That was years ago, idiot. We've grown a lot stronger since then. Well, maybe you haven't, but brother and I haven't grown much stronger since the last encounter with the Akatsuki. Saken smirks at his two teammates. Yeah, why be afraid? If I get angry enough I could squash those Akatsuki like bugs. Jugo boasts. So what do you plan on doing, Naruto? Suigetsu asks as he gives Naruto a toothy grin. What I do best, kill them of course. But being very powerful, I've ordered all of my people back into the underground base until we've dealt with this threat. We are all proud Sound. We as a village should face this threat together, Otokage sir. Suigetsu says. The Sound has been a place where I've felt like a person, not some animal that I was treated as a child. The people look to me as a true leader and friend. I'd never let not even one of my people die knowing well that I could have saved them. Gee Naruto, I never knew we meant so much to you. I'm touched. Jugo says as he lets out a fit of laughter. Fuck off, Jugo. Naruto spat at Jugo as he soon began to laugh as well. Tomorrow we'll all conceal ourselves and begin waiting for the Akatsuki to show their faces. That's all I wanted to say. You're all dismissed for now. For a week Naruto and his team of the deadliest Sound members waited for the inevitable. A few days later, two strangers wearing long black cloaks and straw hats came looking for their prey, Yugito. Hidan and Kakuzu had finally reached their destination Sound. Hidan takes out his charm of beads, sits down and begins to pray. Why must you do this every time we're about to kill someone? God, you're annoying. Kakuzu yells at Hidan as he once again starts his sacred ritual. I must pray to Jashin for a successful kill and capture of the two-tailed best and of Yugito. Hidan says calmly and continues his chanting. Several minutes later, Hidan gets back up and he and Kakuzu continue toward Sound. This place seems deserted, all right. Perhaps they knew of our arrival. Hidan asks his companion. No, not everyone. Suigetsu says as he jumps down from the top of an extremely tall tree. The two look at the strange-looking being who is baring its shark-like teeth at them. Where is Yugito? Safe, but I'd be more concerned about yourselves than her. Suigetsu says as he opens several water bottles and pours the liquid onto the ground. It looks like that I'll be able to kill after all. Hidan says as a smile crosses his lips. The water slowly forms a small puddle around the two Akatsuki. Suigetsu slowly melts into the water and disappears. Obviously he'll try to come underneath us. Kakuzu says as he watches his feet for any signs of movement. Hidan drew his scythe and was ready to draw this being's blood out and consume it. Jugo, who was hidden behind a tree, came charging toward the two. They took their eyes off the ground and prepared for battle with this new being. This was the chance Suigetsu had been waiting for. He explodes from the water and delivers a massive uppercut to both Kakuzu and Hidan, sending them both upward. Jugo grabs hold of Kakuzu and slams him to the ground with great force. Suigetsu performs a few hand seals and places his hands on Hidan. Suiten Dabakufu no Jutsu. A water bomb explodes, sending Hidan flying back at an incredible speed, crashing through trees. Kakuzu's green eyes flash as his anger grows. He grabs hold of Jugo and slams him face first into the ground and grinds Jugo's face into the rubble. Jugo, as Kakuzu soon began to realize, was growing in muscle size. Jugo grabs Kakuzu's wrist and throws Kakuzu off him and gets up with his eyes rolled back in his head. Just what Naruto imagined. Jugo had lost it and he was fuming. At this time Jirobu and Kidomaru decide to cut in, but not before they went into their cursed seal level 2 forms, as does Saken and Uken, who decide to help out Suigetsu. Suigetsu had drawn his sword, which used to be Zabuza's, and had engaged Kakuzu in a heated battle of weaponry. In the exchange of blows, Suigetsu severs Hidan's left arm. Hidan gives Suigetsu a grin and reaches down to pick his severed arm while dodging the swings of Suigetsu's massive blade. Do you mind, Kakuzu? No. Kakuzu calmly says as he lands next to Hidan and rips his shirt off. 5 strange-looking masks were stitched into his back. Kakuzu's skin began to quiver. Black thread violently erupts from his body and whips about violently. Hidan places his arm back in its socket. The thread stitches Hidan's arm, which he moves about. Why the look? I am immortal. Hidan smiles at the group of sound. Then we'll have to take it up a notch. Kidomaru says as his 6 arms began to thrash about. Spider bind. Spider webs explode from Kidomaru and entangle Kakuzu and bonds him to a tree. Kakuzu tries to rip the web off, but to no avail. It was stronger than steel. Get this shit off me, Hidan. Sorry, but he can't right now. Uken says as his ogre-like head emerges from Hidan's shoulder. Can't move. As long as I'm inside you, I'm in control. Do it already, Jirobu. Right. Jirobu slams his hands into the ground. He then pulls out an extremely large and heavy boulder. Jirobu carries it over to Kakuzu. Kakuzu's green eyes flash wide. Jirobu lifts the boulder high into the air and brings it down on top of Kakuzu, making a wet crushing sound. Next, Suigetsu slices Hidan's arms first, then his legs. Uken soon exits his body as it falls to the ground. I already told you, I can't die no matter how many pieces you cut me into. Hidan says humorously as he looks up at his attackers. If that's the case, then I may have an alternative. Naruto says as he emerges from the trees. Naruto calls forth Kyuubi. If you won't die normally, then you'll become a meal for my mate Kyuubi. Kyuubi looks down at her prey and licks her lips. I haven't had a meal in so long, yum. She transforms into her true form. Kyuubi easily towers over even the tallest trees. Naruto reaches down and picks Hidan up by the neck and holds him before Kyuubi. We may not be able to kill you, but she can consume you. With that being said, Naruto chunks Hidan far into the air and Kyuubi catches her meal and slowly eats Hidan, enjoying the flavor of mortal blood once again. Naruto walks over to her and rubs her leg. Kyuubi lowers her head and licks Naruto's face lovingly. Thanks for the snack, Naruto. His blood was heavenly. Naruto gives her a smile and rubs her head. No problem. If you'll wait a little longer, I'll feed every last Akatsuki member to you. With that, Kyuubi disappears in a large cloud of smoke. Naruto turns around and smiles at his comrades. Most impressive. Those 2 weren't even a challenge to you. I was worried for nothing. Calm down, Jugo, it's over now. Naruto says as he watches Jugo vent his anger on the landscape. Naruto walks over to the boulder that had crushed Kakuzu, and sees Kakuzu's head. Kakuzu breathing was slow and raspy. You? Who sent you? I'll never tell you anything. Jugo blurts out as blood pours from his mouth. Naruto smiles down at the pathetic-looking being before him and laughs. Alright, have it your way. Naruto slams his foot down on Kakuzu's throat, crushing his windpipe, making a soft squishing sound. That takes care of that. Naruto takes a look at the group and heads back toward the village. Elsewhere, a concealed Zetsu had watched the massacre of his fellow Akatsuki with amusement. Those two fools were supposed to bring me Yugito, but instead they end up getting themselves killed. We must inform. Leader. Zetsu suddenly has a set of arms clamp around his neck. You won't get the chance, fool. Before Zetsu can respond or act, Naruto snaps his neck with ease and lets Zetsu's limp body fall to the ground. Naruto looks upon the bizarre-looking being. That's 3 down and I wonder how many to go. And who was this leader this thing was referring to? Naruto ponders to himself in silence. Who might this be? Naruto? Suigetsu says as he emerges from the ground beside his friend and leader. One of the Akatsuki scum. I heard his thoughts as I was about to head back to the village and tell everyone that it was safe to come out again. Naruto mumbles as he kicks at Zetsu. Alright then, Naruto. See you later. Suigetsu melts into the ground and disappears. Elsewhere, a tall, sinister-looking man is standing before a strange-looking statue. The ceiling statue. Hidan, Kakuzu, Zetsu. I've lost mental contact between them, they must have been slain. The leader of the criminal Akatsuki origination thought to himself. Tobi and Deidara have fallen by the hands of Konoha, and in vain. Naruto had already left years ago. 5 of my loyal members down, and I'm sure that the number will raise with my son's power ever growing. He's bound to come and kill the rest of so we won't endanger his clan of sound warriors. The Akatsuki leader smiled to himself widely. And if I can get him to join our ranks, the Akatsuki will raise to power once more. Through careful manipulation, son, you will join your father eventually. Guess I'll send the remaining 2 to further test his abilities. He mentally calls out to Kisame and Itachi and tells them to hunt down Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto, along with the rest of his family, Tayuya had blown a fuse when he told her that he was planning on leaving again. To look for the rest of the Akatsuki and leave them behind again, were getting ready to leave on possibly a very long journey. Naruto, who was still reluctant about bringing along his wife and 2 daughters along, finally agreed to after Tayuya had beaten the crap out of him. The first day of their journey started, Naruto had been constantly called by his second mate Kyuubi. Naruto appears before the cell containing the demon queen Kyuubi. Yes, Kyuubi, what is it? Naruto asks as he looks over Kyuubi, for she is lying on a large plush bed. I have news for you, my mate. She says sweetly as she rolls over and looks at Naruto. What? Well, Naruto, I'm pregnant with your kits. She states as she rubs her belly slightly. Naruto was at a loss for words at first, but soon came back to his scenes and was overjoyed by the news. That's great. You'll finally become the mother that you've wanted to become for so long. Naruto enters her cell and passionately kisses his love for several minutes. When do you expect to give birth? Naruto asks as he gently rubs her stomach. In a couple months our kits will be due. Until then I'll be depending on you to tend to me whenever needed. Of course, Kyuubi. I'd give my life to protect you. Naruto gives Kyuubi a smile as she throws him on the bed and pounces on her love. For several heated hours they wildly make love. Tayuya had taken the children away during this time for a walk through the vast forests and returned when she had sensed that her lovers were through with their little frenzy. She had returned with Kiri in hand and Hisame following close behind. Ready to go, lover boy? Tayuya says with a smirk on her face to the laid-back Naruto, who atop of a tree branch with a wide smile on her face. Sure. Let's get going. Naruto jumps down, heads toward the village, grabs his traveling bag, and the small group finally set out to track down and exterminate the remaining Akatsuki members. Far away in the distant Wind Country, the 2 remaining Akatsuki were given a new task: abandon their search for Gaara and go after Naruto. So our new target is Naruto now. Interesting. Kisame quietly states. Yes, I wonder how strong he and little brother have grown. Itachi, from the rumors I've heard Naruto is no longer in Konoha, he left to join that rat Orochimaru. Itachi now looks at Kisame with interest. By finding Naruto we could also find Orochimaru, two birds with one stone. Kisame grins at Itachi. No, from what I also heard was that Orochimaru was slain by Naruto some time ago. And that Naruto is now the Otokage of Rice Field Country. Naruto finally left Konoha. Wonder why he stayed in Konoha for as long as he did. Itachi mumbles to himself. Kisame, you know where this sound village is? Yes, our leader has given me precise directions to this new place. Then let's get going. The two Akatsuki instantly vanish and head out to this unknown village. Days turn to weeks, but still the small group of sound nin found or heard nothing that would lead them to the Akatsuki. As each day passed, Kyuubi had grown more demanding of Naruto and moodier than usual, such as bringing her large quantities of food during odd hours of the day. Kyuubi's taste for mortal flesh was also being satisfied. Naruto had fed her many hunter nins and various shinobi that were hell-bent on claiming the bounty on Naruto's head. Even Tayuya was beginning to grow annoyed at the fact that their entire search was turning up fruitless. Fuck Naruto, this is getting old already. Tayuya growls out at Naruto as she is gently patting Kiri on the back. Kiri happily giggles in return. Yeah, I know. Now do you know why I insist on going alone now? Naruto angrily growls back at his wife. Tayuya punches Naruto in the back of the head with all the strength she could muster. Naruto winches slightly. Naruto gives her a grin and rubs his now sore head. Man, Tayuya, learn to take a joke, babe. I'm through joking around, Naruto. We've been searching for weeks now and haven't found shit. Tayuya had now turned beet red. Kyuubi, who was also growing annoyed with the fact that their search was leading them nowhere and with Tayuya's complaining, decide to let her human mates hear what was on her mind. Enough already with your childish bickering. Kyuubi's roar made Tayuya stop immediately. Even though she and the Kyuubi were lovers, Tayuya still feared Kyuubi greatly. You think you're the only one among us that has grown tired of this meaningless quest? No, but nothing. Hey, you two cut it out now. Naruto calmly says as he begins to laugh a little at the bickering of his two wives. Kyuubi, who was ready to tear Tayuya apart due to the fact that her emotions were out of control, suppressed her anger and listened to what Naruto had to say. Tayuya, you're absolutely right. Our search is leading us nowhere. I think it's time to go home. Let's wait the Akatsuki out and see what happens. About damn time, Naruto. Tayuya says as she gives Naruto a playful punch to the back of his head. Yeah, damn it. Let's go home, dad. Hisame chimes in as she jumps on Naruto's shoulders. Hisame, I see mother has taught you a few new words. Naruto says as he reaches up and rubs his daughter's hair. Shit, yeah, mom has. Hisame shouts happily. Naruto looks up at her while smiling, walks toward Tayuya. And how is my little Kiri doing? Naruto asks as he takes Kiri out of Tayuya's back cradle and holds her high over his head. Kiri coos happily and wiggles in his large hands. Can I hold her, papa? Hisame asks as she watches her little sister contently. Of course you can. Naruto gently hands Kiri to Hisame, who her little sister, and draws her in for a big hug and a slight kiss on the forehead. Kiri giggles and wiggles about more excitedly than ever. After a few minutes of playing, Naruto sets his two precious children down, and watches with a proud smile on his face as the two began to roll around. And Naruto says as he turns to Tayuya. It'll be a few more weeks until Kyuubi is due, right, dear Kyuubi? Naruto asks Kyuubi, who has now regained her control over herself, answers. Yes, very soon, Naruto, our kits will come into this world. She notes as she rubs her stomach gently. Wonder how the world will see our Hanyu children. Kyuubi asks herself as she continues to rub her belly. Either way, Naruto, our kits will be beautiful. Yes, Naruto. Heading back to sound and waiting for the enemy to come to us doesn't sound half bad, beats searching. Kyuubi with a snarl-like smile as she returns to her true demon fox form. Perhaps I'll give birth after the Akatsuki have been dealt with. Alright then, let's get going. Tayuya walks over to Kiri, picks her up and places her back into the back cradle. Naruto picks Hisame up and places her on his shoulders. Hisame quickly wraps her arms around Naruto's neck. Hold on, Naruto says as he and Tayuya disappear and head back to sound at an unbelievable speed. The small group of would-be hunters arrives 2 days later to a quiet village, which was due to that Naruto ordered all but the remaining sound 4 members, Jugo and Suigetsu, to stand guard until Naruto returned. Home sweet home at last, Naruto shouts as Hisame jumps down. As Tayuya was about to say something, Naruto spoke first. Something's not right. Tayuya, take Kiri and Hisame underground now. Before Tayuya could open her mouth to protest, Naruto puts a hand over her mouth. Now's not the time for arguing. Do it, Tayuya. Tayuya frowns and takes hold of Hisame and quickly runs to mansion that was built over the subterranean entrance. Naruto picks up on several large chakra levels and heads toward the training grounds. When Naruto arrives, he is surprised to see a dead Kidomaru with every arm sliced off, a decapitated Jirobu who was implied on a tree, and the 2 brothers Saken and Uken were sliced in half and not moving, probably dead, Naruto guessed. Other than that, nothing. Who could have done this to 4 of my strongest shinobi? Naruto picks up on several large chakras that are still moving and sets off. Whoever it is, I'm going to rip them to pieces. Naruto soon jumps onto a large branch as he watches Suigetsu engaging Kisame in an epic battle of steel. Itachi was easily holding off Jugo with his Mangekyo Sharingan, creating vast illusions of himself out of boulders, trees, etc., which Jugo was crushing. Just before Itachi could execute the Amaterasu Jutsu, Naruto intervened. As Kisame took a step back to avoid Suigetsu's forward thrust, Kisame stops dead in his tracks. A second later, Naruto's fist explodes from Kisame's chest. Kisame looks down to see his still beating heart clutched in Naruto's fist. A gurgling sound escapes from Kisame's shark-like lips as blood pours out of Kisame's gapping mouth as his eyes roll back and his entire body goes limp. Naruto yanks his hand out of Kisame's chest as he falls to the ground. Naruto then drops the now still heart next to the dying Kisame. I ta kai. Kisame whispers as his eyes begin to glaze over and finally dies. Hello, Naruto. Suigetsu grins as he sheathes his sword. Itachi stopped his hand seals and watched angrily as Naruto had slain his only friend. His genjutsu over Jugo began to fade and soon Jugo regained himself and his surroundings. He and Suigetsu hop onto a nearby tree branch and wait for what promised to be an epic battle. Naruto, Itachi murmured as he gritted his teeth and clenched his fists. How dare you kill Kisame? He was like a brother to me. Itachi's eyes widen as his Sharingan eyes flash red and wildly spin about as Itachi began to cast powerful genjutsus upon Naruto. Who the fuck do you think you are? How dare you come into my village and kill my best men, you piece of shit? Naruto angrily spat at Itachi. What? Why are you not writhing in pain? Itachi gawked with a little fear in his voice. Oh, that, with the help of my dear Kyuubi, you Uchiha scum. Naruto grins at the now baffled Itachi. And without your precious eyes you're nothing. Naruto growls at Itachi as he begins to emit his own red chakra. I'm going to rip you apart. Naruto charges the still stunned Itachi, who quickly regains his calm physique. A slight smile forms on Itachi's face as realization enters his mind. Without my Sharingan and at your current level of power, I'm powerless against you. I won't put up a fight, kill me. Naruto. As you wish, I'm going to kill you slowly. For several agonizing hours, for Itachi anyway, Naruto pulverized Itachi with great pleasure. Jugo and Suigetsu watched on with sadistic glee. Finally, as Itachi's limp body once again hits the ground, Naruto licks the blood from his fists and stomps down hard onto Itachi's already shattered ribs. 2 hours of my onslaught and you haven't made a sound. Naruto then stomps down again even harder, causing blood to explode from his mouth. It's really annoying. Come on, whimper for me. Through what remained of Itachi's face, Naruto thought he saw him smile. Time to say goodbye to this world, Itachi. Naruto smirks as he quickly performs the summoning jutsu. Time to come out, dear. As black smoke and red chakra explodes form the ground, Kyuubi appears towering over the forest. Naruto reaches down and picks up Itachi by the throat. Burn in hell, Naruto says as he throws Itachi high into the air. Seconds later he is devoured by Kyuubi. Naruto walks over to the dead Kisame, picks him up and also chunks him into the air, which Kyuubi happily eats the fallen Akatsuki member. After a few minutes of slowly crunching and savoring her snack, Kyuubi reverts to her human form with her eyes holding her stomach. With a look of pain plastered on her face. "Q, are you alright?" Naruto asks as he walks over to his love kneeling down in front of her. Kyuubi opens her eyes and looks into her husband's caring eyes. "The kits will be due sooner than I thought." She winces in pain and closes her eyes once again. Naruto takes her into his arms and slowly walks back to the village. Several minutes later, Naruto walks into an empty medical building, and places her on the same bed Yuya gave birth to Kiri. "Relax yourself, my dear, I'll return with the medical team and have you taken care of promptly." Naruto called out the sound villagers that were in hiding and took the medical nin and nurses straight to Kyuubi, who had fallen asleep with a look of content on her face. After running a few tests on the snoozing demoness, the head medical nin assured Naruto that she would be fine and that she was in the best of care, and that they would quickly inform him of her status every few hours. Naruto told them that he would stay by her side until she awoke, but the head nurse wouldn't have it, he would only be in the way. Far, far away, the Akatsuki leader Pain ponders to himself in silence. How could those fools fall so easily? They didn't even scratch Naruto. Pain angrily growls to himself. He was now the last Akatsuki, and that pissed him off beyond belief. "I'll kill you, Naruto, and everyone in this sound village." Pain angrily screams and disappears. Several days later, Pain arrives in a still deserted sound village. Naruto had sensed that someone with a powerful chakra was headed for them and ordered everyone underground hours earlier. Sensing nothing, Pain heads for the training grounds where his followers were ruthlessly slaughtered at the hands of his son. Oh, how he was going to make his son suffer for defying his father. Pain immediately picks up on a very familiar chakra heading straight for him. Naruto. Naruto appears several feet behind Pain, who turns his head to look at his son. "Hello, Naruto. My son." A slight look of disbelief crosses Naruto's face. "What? You're not my father, fool." Pain turns around and fully faces his son. Doing so causes Naruto to look up and down this stranger, seeing the resemblance in his face. "No, you can't be. Figured it out, have you?" Pain scuffs at Naruto. "I'm your how you'd say old man Naruto." Naruto opens his mouth to comment but is cut off by his dear old dad. "Before you ask, let me begin. 18 years ago, days before you were born, my kid brother Yondaime fled with your mother to Konoha so that you would be raised in peace, never knowing your true father or what a monster I've become." A wide smile slowly creeps its way onto his face. "But things never work out the way we planned, do they, son?" The smile then turns into a maniacal toothy grin. "Your mother died giving birth to you and the legendary Kyuubi nearly destroys Konoha. Then the Kyuubi was sealed within you by my piece of shit for a brother so that you would be seen as a hero." Pain can no longer hold back his laughter and he explodes with it. Several minutes go by as Naruto takes all of what his father has just said in, and Pain's maniacal laughter slowly dies down. "Your entire life you were treated like dirt, but all the hardships and pain you endured has helped shape you into a perfect warrior." Pain's expression now turns deathly serious. "I'll only ask you this once, and I don't know why I don't just kill you now. Guess I still have some small shred of fatherly love toward you after all. Join me and together we will rule this world as father and son." Naruto spits to the right and sneers at his dad. "That's what I think of your offer, old man. Why would I want to join you? This world is mine and mine alone." Pain growls and enters his fighting stance. "Alright, Naruto, have it your way. I'm going to make you regret that your whore of a mother ever laid eyes on me." Pain performs many various hand seals at such a speed Naruto can hardly follow them. Dark, ominous storm clouds block the sun and black out the entire sky, Thunder rumbles loudly and lightning strikes a nearby tree. You should feel privileged, son. Not many people have ever witnessed my true power. Couldn't really find out much info on this guy's jutsus except that he could control rain and clone his subordinates, so from here out I'll be making his jutsus up from the top of my head. Upon sensing Pain's extremely powerful chakra, Naruto goes into the level 2 curse seal form, but since Kyuubi was no longer a part of Naruto, he only had 2 fox tails instead of 5, and the stress from staying in that form began to take effect. Just as I thought, without the Kyuubi you've lost over half your power. Pain smiles and quickly executes various hand seals. Then, lightning frenzy. Numerous lightning bolts rage down and nearly strike Naruto, but he easily dodges them as he jumps back and charges Pain. Naruto creates a few of his exploding shadow clones and charge Pain. Yes, come at me with all you have, my son. Pain yells as he jumps to avoid the various snake and altered snake jutsus. Thunder Blitz. A lightning bolt strikes Pain and he slams his hands on the ground. A massive shockwave surges its way from Pain and engulfs every except the real who jumped at the last second, Naruto. Massive explosions engulf the landscape as soon as each of the false Narutos are destroyed. Thought you might try something like this and guess I was right on the money. Pain cackles and jumps into the thick smoke. There he and Naruto trade blows in complete blindness. Minutes later, as the smoke slowly dissipates, the pair jump out from either side of the crater and stare each other down, each with a smile on their faces. Even without the Kyuubi, Naruto, you are extremely powerful. Pain remarked as pride began to well up inside him. You are indeed worthy of the name Uzumaki. Thanks, old man, you're not too bad yourself. The two grin at each other one last time, then disappear and continue trading and blocking each other's blows. Naruto lands a powerful kick to Pain's head which causes him to step back a few feet. He quickly recovers and punches Naruto in the gut, making Naruto cough up a little blood. Naruto licks the blood from his chin. You made me bleed my own blood. Naruto smiles and charges Pain. This time his kick sends Pain hurtling back, crashing through several trees. Naruto takes after his father. And before Pain realizes what is happening, 6 shadow clones plus Naruto pummel the dazed Akatsuki leader. The Naruto's punch, kick and gouge Pain, who can only try his best to defend himself, but to no avail. The true Naruto stops dead in his tracks and begins to charge up his Odama Rasengan. The shadow Naruto's jumps away as Naruto's Rasengan comes flying towards Pain. The sphere hits Pain dead in the stomach, sending him hurtling high into the air. The sphere explodes seconds later, sending the now heavily beaten Pain falling back to Earth. The Odama Rasengan had taken most of Naruto's chakra to perform, and the stress from being in his second form was taking its toll on Naruto. He slowly reverts back to his human form as the shadow clones disappear in a puff of smoke. Naruto goes on his knees and pants heavily as sweat runs down his face. Pain lands around 50 feet from Naruto with a thud. A breeze blows by, ruffling Pain's tattered clothes. Pain remains as still as ever. Good, the son of a bitch is dead. Naruto gets back up and slowly walks toward his fallen father. Naruto looks over Pain and rolls him over using his foot. Pain's eyes flash open and he quickly disappears and reappears on top of a large boulder. Well, very impressive, my son. You almost did me in, almost. Naruto growls at Pain, who is still cackling to himself. Another similarity between you and I is that we are able to transform. Blood slowly runs down Pain's mouth. He licks it away and gives Naruto a toothy grin. In my current stat, I'm only at half of my actual power. Hearing this made Naruto break out in a cold sweat. What? Pain spits and goes into a stance. Why act so surprised? You didn't actually think that you could defeat me so easily, did you? Lightning begins to strike down around Pain as his chakra begins to explode from his body. Now let me show you what a true transformation is. Pain yells as his eyes go completely blood red. 2 bat-like wings protrude from Pain's back, his muscles greatly expand, he grows several feet taller. And 6 whip-like tails can be seen swaying back and forth. Let us begin. Pain dashes toward Naruto, who jumps out of the way just before this new monstrosity plowed him over. Shit Naruto thoughts are cut short as he bumps into a cackling Pain. So this is the extent of your power, what a laugh. Pain punches Naruto dead in the face with such power that it sends him crashing down. Naruto lands kneeling, rubbing his cheek, almost howling in pain. Pain comes crashing down on top of Naruto, pinning him firmly down. And this is only a small taste of what's to come. Pain smirks as he looks down at the seemingly helplessly Naruto and begins to wipe his feet on Naruto's own version of the Uzumaki clan symbol. Ignoring his almost depleted chakra and throbbing body, Naruto once again goes into his second form. Pain jumps away as Naruto stands once again and soon emits his red chakra. Naruto vanishes. Seconds later, Pain thrusts his elbow back and knocks the wind out of Naruto. Hello. Naruto vanishes and tries to deliver a roundhouse kick to Pain's head, but before contact, Pain disappears, as does Naruto. Pain moves around at such speeds that Naruto could barely follow his movements. Naruto growls and takes after him. The two trade blows for several minutes, but it's apparent that Naruto is way out of his league. Pain once again sends Naruto hurtling back to earth and waits until Naruto slams into the ground before making his move. Pain punches Naruto in the stomach with such force that a crater forms as Pain continues pushing Naruto deeper into the ground. Naruto screams out in agony as the pain hits him like a bolt of lightning. Naruto instinctively grabs hold of Pain's arm but is slammed deeper into the ground with another rib-shattering punch before he gets a chance for a counter-attack. Pain jumps from the crater and waits for his son's grand re-entry. Several minutes pass as the rubble that had covered Naruto remains as still as ever. Pain calls down a large lightning bolt that strikes and explodes, causing the crater to grow even deeper. I know you're still alive down there, kid. The blood of a lost and powerful clan courses through your veins. You can survive. Much worse than that. Naruto erupts from the ground 20 feet behind Pain. Well, back for more, I see. Pain scuffs and turns to face Naruto. Blood slowly flowed from Naruto's nose and mouth and ran down his now bare chest. Naruto wipes away some of the blood away as he breathes heavily. Huh. Look at you. Your remaining chakra is almost depleted and your strength is diminishing every second. How will you get yourself out of this, boy? Naruto pants one last time and charges his chakra to its highest level. Rah! Naruto's final ounce of chakra explodes from within Naruto, which momentarily surpasses Pain. While Pain is still stunned, Naruto quickly performs Odama Rasengan and appears before Pain. Before Pain could raise his defense, Naruto releases the Rasengan. Gua! Pain mutters as the Rasengan tears through his chest. Ho-oh! Pain whispers as he falls to the ground. Naruto slowly regresses as he falls to his knees, completely out of breath. 2 reasons. You were overconfident, and second, you let your guard down as I thought you would sooner or later. Hey. Naruto falls back completely drained of his chakra and strength. Before he passed out, he heard his father mutter his last words. Well done, my son. Naruto's eyelids finally become too heavy and he passes in unconsciousness. As soon as Hisame could no longer sense the chakra emitting from the bad man, her and her sensei, Guardian Suigetsu, went out looking for Naruto. Hisame ran frantically through the forests, for she could barely sense her father, and that scared her. Finally found and only to be lost once again. Hisame reaches Naruto as does Suigetsu seconds later, who looks over at Pain and then Naruto. Papa, you're going to be alright, hold on. Hisame places her hands on Naruto's chest, taps into Ulva's chakra. With the help of Ulva, Hisame slowly pumped a little of Ulva's chakra into Naruto and thus restoring some of Naruto's chakra, preventing him from dying. For what seemed like forever but lasted only a minute, Hisame removes her hands from Naruto's chest and hugs Naruto's neck with tears running down her face. Suigetsu places a hand on Hisame's shoulder with a smile. Come Hisame. Let's take Naruto back and get him treated. Hisame looks up at Suigetsu with tears in her eyes. Once he is taken care of and gets enough rest, he'll be back to his old self for sure, I promise. Hisame wipes her tears away and Suigetsu pats her head gently. Good girl. Suigetsu says as he picks Naruto up and places him over his shoulder. He and Hisame then head back to Sound.